Mr. Michael. How are you? As I talk today to some wonderful school principals and teachers in this session today, I'm going back 40 years in time and remembering the time when I was a student and you were the school principal at St. Luke's Solon. Your music classes, the idea of a Saturday club, those were some of my first lessons in creativity. Your out of box thinking made these experiments in creativity so very successful. So, I want you today to go down the memory lane and share with us some of those beautiful memories of the magic that you created at St. Luke's.
Hey Ashu, thanks so much for this very gracious invitation. Can you believe it's been 4 decades since those magical Saturdays? I certainly can't, but I can still picture all of you streaming in before school on Saturdays, early on Saturdays actually, in your colorful dresses and fancy sports gear and carrying your activity bags. It was a magical time, it sure was. And I think what caused us to trigger the out of the box thinking was the energy that you folks, you students brought, as well as the passion of the staff, and generated what I like to call lightning in a bottle. And some of the great clubs that we activated and got going were based on that, on this upward, downward learning that took place. Let me give you some examples. There was our little computer group called ComFam, which started with a 1K machine, believe it or not, and ended up with building a co-designed program that won us a national award. It's where the kids taught the teachers on how to use those early computers. There was our literacy group, students of grades 5 to 7, who taught our farm workers who were illiterate how to sign their names, how to read coins, and even how to read signage on their fertilizer bags. Our maths aid group built fun type maths aids for teachers of different grades and for students that were fun. Our leatherwork group, headed by one of our staff members and my wife, actually ended up breaking quite a few social mores and generated some lovely craft, as you can vouch for. Then we had our gardening group, and they one Saturday did a mass planting of robinia shoots donated by the local agriculture university that helped us arrest one of our slopes where we'd had a landslide. And of course, there was the music group, students of all grades, and yours truly on guitar, which learned a range of songs from around the world. It was such fun, I tell you, it was just such fun. And till today, I keep getting requests, not just from alumni, but from their kids as well, to sing along with them or teach them songs that meant something to them. Back then, all of you sat in the open assembly ground, as you remember, or up on our terraced area upstairs. And today, we are scattered, we're borderless, we're using an AI app that uses asynchronicity to cut down the latency. Can you believe it? Those were terms we wouldn't have dreamed of using back then. But it's something that has helped, as you say, continue this out of a box thinking and the synergy. And for example, I'm currently learning a heavy metal song by Metallica based on a request from one of our ex-pupils' kids in Oman. That's the nature of how that carried forward. To pull it together, you talked about harnessing the energy, but I think the flip side to it is once we harnessed it, it got unleashed, and that's what generated the synergy. And I'd like to finish with a little piece that you're going to recognize of something we sang back then.